Hi then guys and welcome back. Right, so let's quick recap. So far we've got the car moving now quite quickly. If you crash, it starts the lap again. If you manage to make it all the way around the track, which I'm trying to, you complete a lap and get one on your counter. And obviously we've got the time working in the top corner. Okay, so we've got all of that working so far, so well done. Right, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to add in a second car. We're going to add in a blue racing car, and basically we're going to just have a second car, except this time you won't control it using the arrow keys, you'll control it using WASD on your keyboard. Okay, this is not going to take us very long to do it all, and luckily we don't have to do all of this code all over again. So, on your car sprite just here, if you right click, you can duplicate sprite. So duplicate, and it gives you two sprites. Okay, so it gives you a red one and another red one. So now click onto the one that is called sprite 1. First things first, let's change the name. We're going to call this blue racer. Obviously it's not blue, so we need to change the colour. So we've renamed it. We're going to go to costumes, and we're going to go to edit. And we're going to select the fill bucket, the fill tool, the paint bucket, and I'm going to select blue. I'm going to pick this blue here. I'm just going to click anywhere on the red section. Okay, fills it really quickly. Press OK, and you can now see we've got a blue car and a red car. Okay, so we now need to get them so they sort of start, and the blue car has its own lap counter. So let's click back onto scripts, just there. Okay, so all of what we're about to do, you need to make sure you're clicked onto the blue racing car. Okay, do not be clicked on the red one, just the blue one. So let's change when we click the green flag, let's see what happens. The blue one's disappeared, which is not good. Okay, well, it hasn't actually disappeared. All that's happened is that because they're starting in exactly the same place on the racing track, they kind of appear on top of each other. So let's get that part changed first. So on our blue car, we want to change, let's try and position it into a sort of the place where you want it. So you want it somewhere around here. Okay, so we're going to come over the top here, and we're going to say when the green flag is clicked, yeah, we want it to point upwards. We do not want it to start in this place. We want it to start in this new place just here, look. So we're going to say, instead of being -169, we're going to change that to -210. And we want to change it again, just over here where it says go to X, go to Y. Again, when we do crash, we want it to start in the blue car starting position. Okay, let's just test it. There we go. Okay, a slight problem is that at the moment they both start separately and they both start together. The problem is that they're both controlled by the left and right arrow key. So what we need to change is that where it says if, right arrow key, we need to change that to if, and we're going to change that to the letter D. So if the button D is pressed, if the D key is pressed, turn right. To go left, we need to change that to A, so that they can be controlled separately, and that they can obviously be controlled by two people who maybe have a little bit of a race against each other. Okay, so now I'm just going to test the blue one. So we're going to press the green flag. It starts. I'm now using the keys. I'm not using arrows here. I'm using the A and the D to try and steer the car around the track. And there we go. Okay, let's try it all the way around. Right, the problem there was that when the blue car crossed the line, if we look at the code here, it increases the number of red laps finished. Well, we don't want that to happen. We want the blue one to have its own number of laps, so that it can count how many laps the blue one has actually completed. So we're going to create a new variable. So in variables, we're going to make a variable, and just like the red one, we're going to call this one blue laps, and I'll press OK, and you'll see it comes over here. I'm just going to move that into a position where it's clear and you can see it. I'm going to put mine there so you can see the blue one and the red one side by side. Okay. The next bit we need to do is just then edit the code. It's literally, we're going to do this really quickly. Instead of setting red laps to 0, we're going to set blue laps. Instead of changing red laps by 1, we're going to change blue laps. Don't worry, because when the red one finishes, the code on that one has stayed the same. All of these blocks that are on there before, let's click on it quickly, they're all exactly the same. It's just the blue ones we've changed so far. So let's press the green flag. I'm just going to control the blue one. It's not as easy as it looks. And you can see the blue laps goes up. Okay, so that's working fine. I'm just going to test the red ones. Put it here and test it, and the red laps goes up. So yeah, that's all working for me. So just make sure that you've got the X and Y different, so they start side by side, and that when they restart, they restart side by side. Make sure you've changed the D and the A so that you can control both cars, 2 people can play, and make sure you've set up the blue laps and you've changed these 2 bits of code here for the blue car. Okay, right, well done so far, keep going.